Okay, in this video we're going to go over a pre-ride safety checklist. To do this, we recommend starting at the bottom of the bike with your tire pressure and all your nuts and bolts. So Denny here is going to demonstrate that.
First step is to check your tire pressure. Just take your gauge, take the cap off, check the pressure. The pressure should be at about 35 pounds. This one's right at 35 pounds. That tire's safe. You want to check the tread, make sure the tread's in good shape. Next, I like to move over to the shocks and the brakes. Take a ratchet and a 12mm socket. You can get in here and tighten up your shock. Go to your swing arm. Make sure those are tight. Be two bolts holding the bracket onto the caliper. Make sure those two bolts are tight. From there, follow your exhaust down. There will be 3 bolts in the exhaust. They're also 12mm. Make sure those are tight. Then if you follow the exhaust all the way down to where the exhaust meets the head, take a 10mm on an extension, and then reach up underneath there, make sure those are tight. This bike, I already know they're tight. From there, I like to go to the oil. To check the oil, you just take this cap off here. There's actually a dipstick on the bottom of it. We'll wipe that cap clean. You'll dip it in. You don't have to thread it all the way in, just dip it in, and then check your level. It should be full to the top of the X's. Put that cap back in. Then come up to the front of the bike. Again, you'll check the front tire pressure. Should be at 35 pounds. This one's right at 35. And then you'll have 2 more bolts on the front caliper you want to check. Make sure they're tight. Both 12mm. And then you'll have a 14mm axle bolt you also want to check, make sure it's tight. From there, you'll go to the top of the bike and Jesse will take you from there.
Okay, now that we know that everything's tight and safe on the bottom of the bike, go ahead and sit on the bike. You're going to want to make sure your mirrors are adjusted to you. Turn the key on, make sure your horn works. Make sure your left and right blinkers work. Emergency flashes if your scooter has them. After that, check both brake lights are working. Fire up your scooter. Make sure both your high and low beam headlights are working. Which these ones are. Also make sure that your kill switch works. And this one does. Now this scooter might be different than yours, but it should have all the same components that your scooter has. So it's a good idea to go through this checklist every time you ride. Okay, while you're doing these pre-ride checks, if you notice that one or more of the bolts continue to become loose, we recommend that you pull them all the way out. This one obviously is not coming loose, but I just want to pull it out to demonstrate. Putting Loctite or another medium strength thread locker on the end of your bolts. We use Permatex Loctite here. Just a drop on the end is all you need. And then replace the bolt. That'll prevent it from loosening up.